A girl wearing an apron over her school uniform was busy preparing breakfast, with a wavy orange hair that is neither too long nor too short. Even though she's not mature yet, she was a girl whose face is prettier than most celebrities. After taking her apron off, she came out to the living room and stood in front of a door. Hua, she took a short breath, and then knocked twice. But there was still no response. The girl opened the door and went in. She looked at the man, who seemed to be sleeping soundly. "Father, wake up." The girl came a little closer to him, and put her man's ear. Then she whispered, "You'll be late, jump." The man quickly raised his upper body, and nodded with an awkward smile. Yes, you're right." The girl grinned. Afterwards, she closed the door, and went back to the living room. Left alone, Lu Jun breathed a long sigh. It dates back 2 months ago. Year 2020. 10 years have passed ever since rifts appeared on our peaceful earth. Monsters came, and then individuals known as hunters emerged to catch them. Afterward, strange panels began floating on individuals that projected a numerical assessment of so-called stats in real life. It was through those status windows that people began to see their individual skill sets and characterization that defined them as a hunter. Li Jun continued his studies for 3 years after finishing his military service. He then became a civil servant in the Rift Management Department. They are responsible for regulating the monsters near the rifts by the means of hunters. He joined the team at the age of 25 and became the youngest member of the Rift Management Department at Seoul City Hall. And after a year, he was finally assigned to a personal hunter. However, on the day before his first rift expedition, he was hit by a truck. After work, he thought about exploring F-class rifts in Gangdong-gu in advance. But then, he was knocked unconscious by a 5-ton cargo truck while crossing the crosswalk. And Du Jun suddenly found himself in the Murim world. And at the same time, Du Jun acquired a skill, pocket watch. He died in Murim countless times, but through his skill pocket watch, he was able to go back. On the day before he died, he regressed over and over again. Finally, he became the strongest man in the battlefield. Du Jun rose to fame and gained the nickname Heavenly Demon. And now, he was on Earth again. The hospital's automatic door opened. Du Jun breathed in the air and then took out his smartphone. "If you still feel pain, please do inform me and come back here," the doctor in a white gown mentioned while raising his glasses. Du Jun nodded and went out. The nurse next to the doctor fumbled while looking at his chart. How could he be fine as if nothing had happened in a single day? When he was hit by a cargo truck and entered the emergency room, Du Jun's appearance couldn't be explained by words. The major surgery that lasted for 17 hours barely caught his lifeline, and the chances of his consciousness returning were only less than 10%. However, after only a day, all the critical wounds, including internal injuries, were gone like it never happened in the first place. That's a mystery for me too. He arrived in front of Seoul City Hall. Du Jun went to the Rift Management Department on the 7th floor. As he entered, the attention of the staff in the department was naturally focused on him, and then a few people ran towards him. "Hey, are you all right?" A man who appears to be in his late 40s said so with his eyes wide open. Du Jun could recognize that the man was Kang Chol-soo. "Yes, as you can see, I'm fine." "Really? Indeed. You look fine." He couldn't believe it. Just yesterday, he went to the hospital where Du Jun was admitted. He was told that it was impossible to visit him because he was in extremely bad condition, so he went back to the office without seeing him. But now, how could he have recovered in just a single day? "Are you sure you're fine? Did they say you could now leave the hospital?" A woman, who appeared to be an employee, looked up and down at Du Jun and asked anxiously. He nodded and replied, "As you can see, I'm perfectly fine." What a relief. Do you know how worried we were when we heard about the accident? By the way, Du Jun, you're not stammering anymore. The male employee grabbed Du Jun's arm by hand. It wasn't soft. Despite wearing a long-sleeved shirt, he can directly feel the firmness of the fine muscles that reveal their curves. Du Jun, your body seems to be in great shape. What happened to you? It wasn't like this before? Kang Chol-soo nodded in affirmation. You were really small. In addition, you were much more withdrawn. But now, You look taller. Kang Chul-soo looked incomprehensible, recalling that Do-jun was 171 centimeters tall and was similar in height to himself. But now, at first glance, he looked 180 centimeters tall. I see. Thank you for the information. How can a person change like this overnight? Are you really Do-jun? Aren't you someone else? You might have felt that I have changed a little, but it's really me. The employees had an incredulous expression. Do-jun looked around without minding them. Where is my desk? I lost some of my memory because of the after effects of the car accident. You lost your memory? Huh, that's really suspicious. You're not Lee Do-jun, are you? You look similar, but you look much more handsome. Kang Chul-soo patted the employee next to him and said, Mr. Hyun-soo, bring me the fingerprint scanner. The man, called Hyun-soo, entered the storage room and brought out a fingerprint scanner. Originally, it was hung in the storage room where they were prohibited from entering and was changed to a new model 2 months ago. Put your thumb in here. If the fingerprint matches, then we'll believe in you. Do-jun didn't hesitate to put his thumb to the fingerprint scanner. Rift Management Department, Mr. Lee Do-jun, confirmed. Kang Chul-soo couldn't believe it. Try it again. Rift Management Department, Mr. Lee Do-jun, confirmed. Again. But no matter how many times he did it, the results were the same. How can a person change like this in a day? It's called amnesia. It might have also fixed his stammering. Given the stammering, how can a person suddenly grow this tall? Do-jun sighed then said, Please tell me where my desk is. No, go home and rest a lot today. You're on sick leave now. Just go to work tomorrow. But Do-jun was still hesitating when Kang Chul-soo pushed his back. I'll take you home. Let's go. No, it's all right. I can go alone. Do-jun left the office unwillingly. He then took out his resident registration card from his wallet and checked his home address. Do-jun stood tall in front of room 301 of the office Eagle building, which read Changshan Villa. He searched his body for the key, but he couldn't find it. Knock knock. He knocked at the door, wondering if there's anyone, and then, who is it? A voice was heard from the intercom. Do-jun gulped down his saliva, then carefully opened his mouth. Who are you?